Okay. Hi everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day. Today is the first day of week 6. This is our day stand up, and here is where we talk about actually the last week's project or the week 5 project for you guys. So yeah, I would like to hear your progress. What have you found? You know, what are some interesting insights that you have found? Because I think um, it's a really good project to talk about because you may like there are a lot of things that you may find during working on this project. So what I would like to do, or what I would like to propose, is let's go around the room and discuss like or present our work, what have we done since this project is actually one of the tasks is to deploy this, your model. Maybe if you are on your computer, maybe you can also show us what you have deployed, what have worked on, and so on. So with that in mind, let's go around the room and share. I can see that Gabriel has already opened his mic. Maybe you can start that off. Gabriel, can you speak? Okay, I think he's muted. So for those of you who cannot speak, please let us know in the chat box because I think since it's only 8 of us, I think everyone should um, present or at least discuss what they have done. Okay, Nabil, can you share? Can you talk? Okay, Sran, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. Did
Hi.
Okay. So for yesterday's submission, I submit the or for tasks, especially the two. But I have a question in the non-technical submission one, the peer mentorship. I found my peer, well, my mentor in LinkedIn, but after I sent her a request, and also I sent her a request in her Gmail account. I can't get her feedback, and I should not able to submit that one task. Generally, for credit risk assess, generally for credit risk data as a whole, in my perspective, it was new, especially the week 4 and the week 5 part was the model training, and other additional things are coming, and we are struggling. I am struggling, and I love it. As a general, this is my perspective and my
Okay,
work.
good. Okay, good. Before you go, like, okay, for the peer, I think you can contact either Emilian or Good Day on Slack, and they will pair you up with another person if your peer is not responsive. And coming to your project of, like to the technical project, I would like to hear, so which model, which model did you choose to, like to deploy?
The first one.
The first one, which is the first one?
The logistic regression part.
Okay. Okay. So why did you choose it? Like what were your metrics to choosing? Because like I think you have trained on all of the models, and at least I think I would like to think that there would be some contenders, like depending on the metrics, right? Like, and when we talked about evaluating a model, we talked about metrics, right? So which which metrics did you choose in order to to move on or to go with the logistic regression? Do you have any matrices or do you remember them? This one, if you are
As I
speaking,
told you, yeah. Okay, as I told you before, I have struggling in the model training part. I didn't understanding that part well, and I'm still learning that part. The
what part?
past two, this
What
the
which part? Mm.
after task 5, let me mention it.
After task
After,
5.
yeah,
So
uh,
so you
yeah,
didn't do
model.
task 5?
Yeah, I didn't do it well. I have to submit the tasks on time, and I will put this for my own work.
Okay, okay, that's good. But I think it's good to use like all the available, like resources at your hands. Uh, Especially like you can contact the tutors, like go over the sessions. And if the sessions are not like clear or enough for you, you can contact you. You can always contact a tutor and have a private session if you like. I think it's good to use those resources because I think this is the second week, and if you are struggling with like more training and evaluating it, I think it's good like to contact or a peer, can be a peer as well, or a tutor, and like work on the tasks together.
Can
So
I contact four of you? Between four of you?
anyone, of course, any one of the technical teams you can contact at any time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Um, Thank you for sharing the strat. Let's go with Philemon. Hi, Philemon, can you speak? Philemon Hare Mariam. Yes, Matasaga.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, go on, Tasaga. I'll be next.
Yeah, okay.
It was interesting. The sixth round was interesting. But I mean, not
Matasaga, your voice is a bit low. Can you like just a bit? Can you speak up? Matasaga?
can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, it's better now. It's better. Okay.
Okay. Last six challenge was good. It was interesting and also was challenging. And I had found it a little bit the concept. Actually, the concept of credit risk modeling, how it is done. I find it interesting. So I did all the tasks on the technical challenge, and I chose the gradient model since I validated the metrics, the accuracy in the lookup. It was the best model. One of the things that was hard for me was to have an email flow, data flow, which means that the model and also some issues on the Docker file. That was the challenge that I had faced, but it's quite a good one.
So have you fixed the issue like with Docker and
Yes, I contacted Reddit, which helped out, uh, but not I have not solved all the issues. I submitted challenge. But I got the issue. I've understood what the issue is actually.
Okay. Okay. So what were like how accurate was it, your model?
In number,
If you remember, yeah, I think that would be
I
good.
think 0.97
Oh,
or
97%.
97%. Yes.
So I think so. Is the model I think you were supposed to build like a lot of models, like the one that identifies if the person is fraudulent or if it is going to be default or not. I think fraud. I'm sorry, I keep saying fraud, but if the person is going to default or not, the amount of money that we should give them, and of course the duration that we should give it to them for, right?
Yes.
So did you build all those models or just one, or
One.
just one that's going to do all of those?
Yes.
So your model can identify if that person is going to default or not. Is going to give them a credit score, and also suggest this the amount and the duration.
Well, actually, I've not reached there yet. I just trained the model.
Yeah,
I have
but
not
okay,
to that
yeah,
point.
I understand. I understand, but I just wanted to understand which model we are talking about. Like, of course, okay, so I think from what I understand, the model can either, okay, like I think is risky or not. I think that's what the model outputs. Is that
Yes.
your target? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've tuned it, and the best model was gradient boosting.
Oh, so is the best in what case? Like, what were your metrics for
Valid.
valuation?
It's accuracy in the rock, the two measurements. Based on those measurements, the best model I registered was gradient boosting.
Okay. Okay, good. I hope to see it deployed so that we can all test it. And yeah, thank you so much, Mutasawir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Philemon, I think you can go on now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So Planten now I managed to submit the final. I contacted you yesterday, but it finally came. Light was an issue. So I was training the models and try to understand them as much as I could. So the base model I found from the two, I did two models: logistic regression and random forest. So in every way, random forest was the base model, and I even compared it with the values. The F1 score was a bit low on logistic regression. In the random forest, it was good. In accuracy, I think both of them is good, but in every matrix, random forest was the best model found. And we talked yesterday that you told me to do the fraud first on the wall, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that and rerun the pipeline. And what I found is the accuracy is good, but it's more focused on the fraud result. I think the target was fraud. Is it fraud or not? Not gonna calculate as the
Risky or not.
risky or not.
Yeah.
So for a fraud result, the precision, everything was good, but on the risky or not, it's not going to be any help for our model. That's what I realized.
So
don't
I
know
think you mean like the recall is high, but what was that?
the recall
couldn't
is a
identify
bit
the
low actually.
The recall is low, but it can identify the negative. Is that
Yes, it can identify is it fraud or not, but low recall. It has many false negatives, I think. The ones.
okay?
So what I
Interesting.
found, okay, so the recall is good on random forest and logistic regression. Recall was like 0.31, I think. On the random forest, it's 0.98. But a question: is it supposed to be this high? It seems like
Yeah, but what I'm really curious about is so like okay, you have found or you have seen that the record is very low, right?
on logistic regression, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you like try to see which or what like influenced this decision for the model by using interpretation or explanation?
So yeah, I try to understand this. I think the model is good at ranking customer risk, but weak at identifying all risky customers, I think.
Yeah, but
So
what were like the features that like of course like we have to understand the decision making of the feature like the model, right? Like the thinking process. So it's I think it's really interesting to see like what contributed to this decision. Why is it identifying false negatives? Yeah.
So I didn't go that far on the models. I just did it with all the time I have, but I'll consider it for the next, maybe today. I will try to figure out how the models work and what the values meant and how the algorithm works.
Yeah, please do that. I think that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing for a detailed way, Tilma. Nabil?
I was just going to say that if the best way to do that is kind of maybe start at SHAP, and then there are all inland Lima, and then that can tell you at a high glance what the future importance is and how they're contributing towards the overall model. And then there are also other techniques as well, but that's a good place to start if you without taking too much time.
Yeah, but it depends on the model, right? If it is a black model, yeah, a black box model, yes, lime and sharp are the
Yeah,
best option.
for linear,
If it is
yeah,
a
for
white,
linear regression, you can do future weights. You can look at you can look at Gani impurity for different tree models as well. But just even as a baseline, just for even comparison between the few, sometimes I just look at SHAP before diving deeper into each model, just to get bird's eye view.
yeah, that's what I would suggest as well. I think like only seeing the result is not good enough. You have to understand because it might be something you missed or something you did while you were cleaning the data, or you know inputting it that influenced the model, you know, to identify these things as false.
Definitely so.
So since we have you here, can you also share progress?
Frankly, I'm so behind in my progress. I'm going to try to get it all done today. I've managed to get all of my EDA done, and I'm basically setting up the scaffolding for my training. And I'm just making, and then before I'm doing my model selection, I'm looking into the histograms of my various feature distributions, just to make sure that just to make sure that when I do use the models, I'm making sure that I am respecting the assumptions of each model. So I know linear regression has a few assumptions just to begin with. So I'm just going one by one, making sure that I'm making sure that I I'm actually fulfilling those assumptions, and if I'm not, how to mitigate that through transformation of the data in a way that does not actually alter the end results. So I'm really behind myself.
Yeah, I think you still have time. I think it's still doable. I think you still
Yeah,
have like 36 hours left. So I think
Yeah.
it's doable.
definitely doable.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that, Nabil. Before, I think let's hear from uh, maybe Sumaya. Sumaya, can you share? Can you speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I think I joined late and I was just opening my report. In my projects, let me open it. In the modeling part, as you were talking, actually, I was really struggling with the overfitting one. Logistic regression have somehow a good result, but when I go to like the more complex models like decision tree, random foresting, gradient boosting, I see that I face over fitting, and I tried hyperparameter and other things. And I also decreased the high risk column from like training because I thought like it's maybe it have like high relationship with the results and it's like tricking the model. I thought that and I removed that too. I see some progress, but I don't see that much progress in with the time limit I have. I didn't go that far for the modeling part. For the other things, let me open once. I do the methodology and the processes, and I see that the value and amount have like a lot of outliers, and the others have not that much outliers. And I see that some columns have relationship, and I also do the time relation. I see that particularly between 2 a.m. and 6 p.m. There's significant peaks. I see that with the transaction by hour. And for the second one, for task 2, I mean, I transported the categorical features like challenge providers using one-hot encoding, and because there was outliers, where is this?
Okay, maybe for
It's this,
I think you
something,
mentioned,
yeah.
yeah, I think you mentioned that the value and the amount, which are actually pretty much just one is just what do we call it?
One is with the negative value, like that's showing like the credits.
Yeah,
It is credited or debited, and one is just the amount. And I use the amount for like the
the absolute
for the net
value.
one.
That
Yeah.
was what I was looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the absolute value of so they are pretty
Yeah.
much the same. So
Yeah, they're
where,
pretty much the same.
what
So
do you think? What do you think the outliers represented?
outliers
So what
represented that.
what were
Yeah, I think they're like peoples with like high like transaction amount.
so how did you handle them? Like how did you handle the outliers?
Instead of standard scholar, I use the other scholars. I forgot the name, but instead of I think standard scholar will make it like not good like for outlier. I remember that, and I use other method. I just lost the name.
Normalize it or
What?
do you normalize it or what did you
Yeah,
do?
I normalize it. I normalize it.
Okay.
And for normalization, I don't use like the standard one because it's affect. It will affect the outlier. I just use the other methods. I just forgot the name and I lost the name. And my PC is not opening. That's why. Sorry.
That's okay. That's
And
okay.
the second one, I face a lot of problem in joining, like, following the email flow. Because I done the modeling in the Google Colab, and I downloaded the model, and I go to the VS Code, and like continuing that, the ML flow registering first was kind of challenging. It took me time. It took time for me, and because, as I told you, overfitting was like challenging me, I got a lot of 1 and 0 for the result 1 when I see in the first API. And I see a lot of 0 1, and I checked if it's like binary. It's not binary. I make it binary. It's not binary, so I decide that it's because my model is overfitted. But I don't have time to reverse back and like fix that issue more working on modeling. So I suggest that working on modeling is the best part. Using more data and like fixing the overfitting issue.
Okay, like I want to hear how you are planning to like to fix the overfitting issue. So first, but I want you to tell me like when you split it, what was the percentage, or did you start
2080. 2080. I split it with 2080, at least the formal one. Yeah. And did what?
Stratify, like because it's like it's not balanced. There is an imbalance.
Yeah.
What did you do to make sure that there is some kind of balance between them?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't work on that much. I was just.
Yeah.
I think there was more of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, amount. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll consider that for the next.
The next, you mean like okay. I think you still can. I think the best thing here, like I think I have also talked with other trainees, but the best thing about this Swiss project is once you build the pipeline. Well, what I mean by the pipeline is the model training, like the API and so on. If you need to change something, you can just go to the cleaning or like the splitting and so on and so on. You can change it, and you can just apply it to the pipeline, and it will just do everything for you. So you don't have to like destroy everything and start over.
Okay.
But okay, Nabil, I think we can hear from you as well.
No, I was just going to say that if you're struggling with outliers, the way I usually deal with them is you kind of have two options. If you don't really want, if they're not that much of the data, I would say somewhere between 1 to 5%. Sometimes I just remove them altogether for the people who have very high amount of transactions, just to make your analysis a little bit easier and to not mess around with your scaling. The other approach that I sometimes do is I keep that data, I just remove the values, and then I use a machine learning method to interpolate it. And that's another way how I sometimes can deal with that as well. So if you're struggling with dealing with outliers, those are two things that really have worked well for me in the past.
Yeah, but I think we should I always say this, like data points are stories, right? So we have to understand them, why they are there, because and understand the cause of them before removing them or coming up with a strategy to do so.
Of course, I guess what I was saying, I guess what I didn't mention is before I remove the data points, I go ahead and see how are the outliers. So, for example, I would try to go ahead and see if all the people with high income have a certain label for the target variable, so on and so forth. And once I establish what the trend is with the high value, then I would kind of make my strategy accordingly.
Yeah, you have to look at the correlation. If that has a high correlation with the target, that's also another issue. So you have to dig deeper into knowing or understanding why it happened, and what the cause is in order to come up with a good strategy to remove them or handle them. Not remove them necessarily, but that's also an option on the table. As you said, like if there is a very low correlation or like a median correlation and it has a low percentage, removing them is the best strategy. But also inputting them or transforming them is also another strategy.
Mhm.
But it depends on the data. It always depends on the data point or the story behind it.
Definitely so.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to say thank you, Sumaya and Nabil and everyone who joined and shared. Thank you for joining and sharing. I think I will see you in 30 minutes in the channel introduction. We have something so much interesting for you guys for this week. So see you there. Thank you, guys.